Hello there, friends and family. A warm welcome to you all. Thank you so much for joining the Naba's Kitchen today. On the menu, I have my promised baked beans, which I featured in my rich Ghanaian salad recipe, as you can see on the screen right now. So I'm going to walk you through step by step how I prepared my homemade baked beans. So stay tuned and keep watching all the way to the end. And let's jump right in, friends. For the recipe, you'll need navy beans, which are available on Amazon.com or at your nearest grocery store. Now, I wanted to use the organic version of it, and that I didn't find at my local grocery store, so I just purchased it off of Amazon.com. What I'm doing right now is sorting the beans out and removing any damaged beans out of it. You shouldn't really find anything else such as stones, rocks, whatever. Just damaged beans, what you want to remove, because you want your final product to look pretty. Always think of presentation, always think ahead. Now, once you're done sorting it out, you're going to add some water to it. You want to soak your beans for at least 4 hours to soften the beans and make cooking a little shorter than usual. The beans come really dry. They're like little pearls. They bounce all over the place because they're so bone dry. And that's why you need to rehydrate them to plump them up prior to cooking. And here is what I mean. Now it's softened enough, so it's going to cut our cooking time to about 1/3 of the time. Now you're going to pour all your beans in the water you soaked it in into a colander and run a lot of water over it to clean it up and get it cleansed completely. Pour it into a clay pot, preferably. If you don't have a clay pot, no worries, you can use a cast iron pot. The reason you want to use a heavy pot like that is so that the heat is distributed evenly during the cooking process. Now add some water to it. Let the water be above your beans, about 1/2 inch higher, and set it on your lowest heat setting and just cook it slowly. Now at some point about 30 minutes into the cooking, you're going to want to go back into the pot and see what's going on. You should find some foaming substance that will form on the surface. Just skim that film right off. Check on the beans and see how pretty they are. They're almost there. Cover the pot back up and let it continue to cook on your lowest heat setting still for the next hour and 15 minutes. So a total of 1 hour and 45 minutes, which gives us plenty of time to work on our sauce. So I have tomato juice followed by ketchup. The ingredients will be in the description box with your measurements. The ketchup brings sweetness and a little bit of tang and enhances the tomato juice taste. Now here is some sugar, and this is brown sugar. You have to have some brown sugar in your baked beans. Now this here is molasses, a must-have ingredient in making homemade baked beans. Now here is Dijon mustard. You may substitute with mustard powder or regular mustard. Now I have smoked paprika followed by black pepper, some salt, and cloves to bring that warm and sweet aroma into your baked beans. Now I have some onions that I have chopped very finely, actually minced. Now I have the secret ingredient, which is Worcestershire sauce. Oh, the name it always gets me. You need a tablespoonful of that. Now we need an optional ingredient, which is rice flour to thicken the final product. Now it is optional because you may continue to cook the beans for a prolonged period of time to get the starch from the beans released into the baked beans to thicken it. Okay, but that will mean also that you will lose some of the texture. The beans will become eventually mushy, but I don't want to do that, so I add my thickener. Now 1 hour and 45 minutes later, here is what the beans looks like. It is slightly softer than al dente, and that's what you want. So you want to cook it on the stove top first. Yes, we're making baked beans, but this is an important step to soften the beans before we introduce the baking aspect of this dish. Now you'd see that we have some juice still in the beans that have softened perfectly, that is what you want. You still want some juice on there. Now pour the sauce that you've prepared onto it and stir it and be gentle. You don't want to crush your beans. You want to know that this is baked beans when it's done cooking and not a mushy bowl of beans. So this is what you want. It's ready now to be baked. So put the lid back onto the pot, and now it's going to go into the oven at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for the next 2.5 hours. Yes, I know it takes a long time to put baked beans together, but friends, I promise you, it is worth every minute. Just take a look at that and tell me it isn't, right? Look at it. You still have your beans in there. It isn't mushy and it tastes smoky. It is perfectly sweet, not too sweet. It's just the way I like it. Of course, you can add more sweetness to it by way of the brown sugar if you want it to be sweeter. This is done 2.5 hours later. Now, while you're cooking it in the oven, you might want to check on it about 1.5 hours into the baking. Just check to see if you need a little more fluid in there. I didn't need it because this, I have perfected the recipe. So if you need more fluid, just go ahead and add a little more water or tomato juice. Look at that. Now, to bring some crunch and also to freshen and brighten the flavors, because this is a very rich sweet dish, right? I add some leeks and red bell peppers, which I have finely minced, and just stir it in while it's still hot and cover it up for about 2 to 3 minutes. You come back, you're ready to throw it on that salad, that Ghanaian rich salad, or your breakfast plate. It is worth it. I really hope that you're able to try this recipe because you won't regret the outcome. Look at these homemade baked beans. Oh, it was so good. Now the rest of it you can store in your mason jars and just put it in the refrigerator. Or you can also freeze them, put them in, let them cool down first, and then store them in your Ziploc bag in your freezer, and it should last for months. Now I served it for breakfast today with some eggs, avocado, some fried cabbage, and it was finger-licking goodness. Friends and family, I thank you for watching. I hope you try this homemade baked beans recipe. You will absolutely love it, guaranteed. Please, friends and family, continue to support this channel by sharing the videos and watching the videos in their entirety. I thank you again. Make it a great day, and as always, have fun, especially in that kitchen.